Hello guys, welcome to another video. So today we're going to look at VIX 75. On this channel I always give you analysis of everything. We trade the currencies, we do Nasdaq, we do VIX 75, we do gold, whatever. So make sure that you stick until the end so that I can show you how to do a top-down analysis and be able to come up with a conclusion, a well-informed one, where we will know where the market is most likely to go. So let's get started. Alright, so we always start with the highest time frame. So this is our monthly chart. We're not going to waste time here. So for long term, what we need to take here, because still looks the same as what we saw the last time we looked at it. So basically the price moved lower than this area here. We definitely moved lower than it, if you still remember, or I can just show you quickly. If you look at this, the price broke this. It moved lower than it. So we're saying that because the price has been moving to the downside for a very long time, and when it broke that, we were hoping that it will continue and move maybe towards this level here. But all of a sudden we started seeing the bulls that they don't want to let the bears take them all the way down like that, so they started rejecting the price. So basically when the price or the bears moved lower than this area of support there, or area of demand, the bulls didn't want them to continue like that. It was just a sort of a tail that moved below, and then they caused them to go back up and close with what? A bullish pin bar. And then from there they'll continue to go to the upside. And by the look of things, you'll see when you're moving to the smaller time frames, this here, we went higher than this, which means there's a possibility that we could end up reaching for that, but we will see when we are moving to the other time frames. So let's get to weekly and see what we have there. So this is our weekly chart, and on weekly the structure looks more interesting than what we saw on monthly. So basically here we're moving down just like what we saw on monthly, and all of a sudden the bulls became aggressive out of nowhere, and they managed to form this new area of what? Support or demand, and that's where it pushed up and it broke the trend line, and it broke areas of resistance. It moved higher than them. So you can see that definitely here on weekly we are going to the upside. But just because you're going to the upside does not mean that if you're planning to continue with it, maybe towards this, but also keeping in mind that this area, this level there, can still prevent the bulls going above, but there's a high chance of them going towards this, right? And just because you know that there's a high chance of the bulls going there does not mean you can just go and enter, take a buy, and hope that the price will just rally and go towards that resistance. Because of what? Remember, the same thing when the price was moving to the downside, it did not do this. You can see it has this in between, it has this in between. So this is very much possible, this, when you're going to the downside. The same thing, now we're going up, it does not mean we will just shoot up like that. It's possible that the price can still play around, but there's a chance of it moving up towards that, maybe in the next coming couple of weeks or so. So if you're someone that wanted to catch that and you're executing on weekly, basically weekly is your execution time frame. You will be targeting, hoping that there will be a deeper pullback towards this area of support. That's the one that pushed above to the other side of the trend line, and also taken out areas of resistance, and maybe you try and catch it from there and hope that it will reach that. But also keeping in mind that wherever that it tends, that's where you have to be your TP1. Then this is where you can exit all your trades. That's if you're executing on weekly, but I doubt you'll be executing there. So let's drill down to the other time frames and check what the structure looks like as we're moving down to the other time frame. So basically this is that area on monthly. I showed you that the price moved higher than this. You can see here this, we definitely moved it higher than it. So that means even on daily there's nothing, at least until there. So basically daily also has a chance to go up like that, but it does not mean it should go immediately. It can still play around, but by the look of things, since it moved higher than this, it opened more space and increased the chances of the price reaching for that. So always lean towards the bulls, but you need to wait for it to pull back towards a safer area for you to join them. You don't just join them in the middle of nowhere. So our daily is definitely moving to the upside. And if we try and put a bullish trend line, so basically we have a bullish trend, we have a bullish trend line here, and we have an area of support or an area of demand somewhere there. So basically, if you're someone that's trading on daily and you know that daily this tail here moved higher than that, which means it opened more space, and you want to join the bulls, remember, you don't just join them in the middle of nowhere. Maybe if they give you a pullback, then you can join them like that if you're trading on daily. But a deeper pullback towards this will be a much safer one, because remember, the aim is to always try and buy as low as possible. So if you're buying lower than it, like lower around there, is better than someone who's buying there, because of what? When you're buying lower, your stop loss is going to be very tight and your profit margin is going to be all this space. But if we buy there, you end up with the bigger stop loss, and the profit margin also is smaller. It's not as big as when you're buying as low as possible. So if the price was to get back to this, that would be awesome, because then we'll be buying as very low. But even if it doesn't, you get a chance along the way, you can continue buying like that. So let's check. But this is not nice. This it's just, look at the candlesticks now. They are no longer as strong as what we used to have here when you're moving to the upside. So a deeper pullback to recharge or to restart all of that and then continue would be a best move. So let's check what we have on H4. So this is the structure on H4, and H4 is definitely still very much bullish, just like what we saw on daily. And here, what you need to take with you is that we are bullish. We have a bullish trend line here. There's your bullish trend line, and here is your area of support, just somewhere around there. So that's your support or your area of demand, and the price is pushing down towards that. So remember, if you are bullish, bullish trend line and an area of support or demand, they are very important, because you know that the price is bullish, but you can't just buy when it is moving up. You will try and wait for the price to sort of give you a pullback, and that pullback will take the price into a safer area, because you're trying to buy as low as possible. I told you that. So when you're buying there, it's not buying here is better than buying there, because of what? You're buying low. That's always the goal, to buy as low as possible. So that's why when your price is going up, you are waiting for the price maybe to move towards to pull back towards an area of demand or an area of support or a bullish trend line. Then you try and search for your buy trades there. So around this structure and this structure, that's where you'll have your chance to take a buy trade. But again, something that we need to note here is that when you look at what happened here, the bulls are pushing up, and then all of a sudden we have a bearish candlestick that looks like this, and then which means it swallows the previous candlestick or candlestick. So that's what you call a bearish engulfing, and this suggests that the bears are strong, the bears are aggressive. So they try to be as aggressive, they push towards this, but they still fail to take out the trend line. They still fail to take out the support. So what they are trying there, it's very difficult for us to trust them on this time frame as yet, because of what? The only thing that they have is that they formed a bearish engulfing, but that alone is not enough. You can see here, as soon as the price sort of approach the bullish trend line, because the trend is still bullish, the bulls, you can see they are kicking in, and then they formed what? A bullish engulfing. So maybe they want to continue like that. But let's check what we have on H1. So H1, things are different, because if you look at H1, you can check even on your thing. If I put this here, there's definitely a higher high there, right? Which means I can put a bullish trend line and say we are moving up nicely. We had a bullish trend line there, and it was removed alongside this area of support or demand here, right? And that's when you're like, okay, the sellers have won, and all of this was started by this guy. This is the guy that did what? This is the guy that reversed the price on H1 and caused H1 to be bearish. So remember, the bigger guys are saying it's possible that we might go for a pullback, but a deeper pullback would be the price restarting, especially if it moves towards that weekly area of support. That would be awesome, but we don't have to predict that it will go all the way there. But we're just saying, when you look at the structures on the bigger time frames, you see that there's a room for a pullback, which is why when you go to this day H1, you can see that the H1 is bearish, which means you can do have a chance to try and take your your trades, because even this guy here has been removed. So you do have a chance to try and take sell trades, but it doesn't mean I can just say the price is dropping and then I sell. No, I will try and wait for a pullback towards the area that broke key structure. So some they call this a break of structure. So basically, if you look at what this area of supply or area of resistance did, it is the one that pushed the price down, breaking this structure and also breaking this structure. So that's why we will say, because we know the price is moving to the downside, if I want to join that trend, I'll just wait for a pullback towards the structure that broke the previous one. So basically, should the price reverse towards this, should the price move up like that, you will need to make sure that when you get there, you look for confirmation, and then you can take your sell trades there if you get the confirmation. If you don't get it, then the price is most likely to break that. But what I can tell you now is that this zone here, there is a potential that the price would hold and then pull back. We're not sure whether it's going to break this and continue moving to the downside, or it will just be a smaller pullback before breaking. But all I can tell you now is that I don't think the price will just break this one that easy, because of what it did and where it is located, and even the structures on the bigger time frame says there's a chance that the price might reverse. So if the price moves up like that, look for sell trades from that area, but with confirmation. Then you know that you're just selling, maybe targeting this, targeting that, and then hopefully it will continue moving to the downside like that. Let's maybe do M15 and see. M15 is definitely bullish because we're moving up, and then we had a bearish trend line which was removed, and then it moved up. We had the nearest area of support there, and the price recently touched it, and then it moved up. What you need to take from this is that yes, the price touched it and it moved up, but what did it do, or what did it fail to do? It failed to, because remember, it did this, gave us a high. Now it's coming, it failed to give us a new high after testing the trend line, the zone. So this is the area of support. You take a trade from there. You are targeting this just in case whatever that caused the price to turn here causes it to turn again. And now we are failing to do what? Form a higher high. What does that mean? It means here on M15, even though we are bullish, but the bulls are not that strong, because of what? If you're strong and you want to continue with your uptrend, the least that you need to do is just to break the previous high and continue with higher high. So now the price looks like it's pulling back towards the same area of support, or a supply area of area of resistance and supply. Then here we have a very nice area of support and area of demand. So basically, when you think of this one, it is fresh. This one is not fresh. So already you had a chance to buy there when the price pulled back. It is not fresh. So the one at the bottom, it is fresh, and it is the one that pushed up and broke this resistance and broke the trend line and reversed the trend from bearish to bullish. So the day the price decides to, if the price decides to take out this support here, which is not fresh, and comes towards this, you can still say, I remember what this guy did. Maybe he wants to push up, right? But on the H1 suggests that there's a chance of the price moving up towards this, which is where we wanted to take our sell trade. But the price is more than welcome to even do this before going up. But if it sort of takes this, then you're getting your buy trades. When you get to this one here, that's where you need to stop and maybe leave one trade running. But even this guy, so basically for now, the space that you can trade in between is this until one of them is removed. Then that will increase the chances of you holding. So if maybe the price does this, and you put a bullish trend line like that, should it come down and break that bullish trend line, knowing very well that that level we said is the strongest, is very strong because of what it did when it was formed. So should the price now move lower than this bullish one, a pullback would be you selling, moving to the downside. Because remember, on H1 we had said that you can take your buy trades from this, but with confirmation. So if you decide to look for that confirmation on M15, it means when the price is there, it's definitely going to give you a bullish trend line. If it reacts and does this, then a pullback, that's your confirmation. All right, guys, I think we can end it here. So make sure that you look out for this one. So be careful of this support or demand. You can search for trades there, but but it's not gonna be, you know, easy for the price to get there, because on this time frame we are definitely bullish, and the bulls can still push up towards that H1 support where I said search for sell trades and with confirmation. So if you're looking for that confirmation here on M15, you can take a trend break and then a pullback, and then that's what you're gonna sell. All right, guys, I think that's all for this one. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this type of content, and then I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.